Have you ever wondered what would happen if a father who can't even handle breakfast suddenly had to run an entire household by himself? What if the person who always believed parenting was easy discovered that he had absolutely no idea what he was doing? Well, that's exactly what happens in The Breadwinner. And trust me, what starts as a simple family comedy slowly turns into a hilarious disaster where everything that can go wrong does go wrong. From destroyed homes, to family secrets, to a horse that absolutely should never have been brought into the suburbs, this father is about to learn the hardest lesson of his life. And by the end, he'll realize that earning money for a family is sometimes the easiest job in the house. So grab your snacks, sit back, and let's dive into the story. The movie begins by introducing us to Nate Wilcox. On the surface, Nate seems to have everything figured out. He has a stable job, a nice house, 3 daughters, and a wife who appears to have mastered every aspect of family life. Nate works as a successful car salesman. In fact, he's so good at his job that he's one of the dealership's top performers. Every day he leaves for work believing he's carrying the weight of the family on his shoulders. After all, he's the breadwinner. He's the one bringing home the paycheck. But there's something Nate completely fails to notice. While he's spending his days selling cars, his wife Katie is doing everything else. And when we say everything, we mean everything. Katie cooks, Katie cleans, Katie manages schedules, Katie handles school activities, Katie solves family problems, Katie keeps 3 daughters organized. And somehow, she manages to do all of that without receiving much recognition. To Nate, life feels perfectly balanced. He works, Katie handles the rest. Simple. At least that's what he believes. But Katie has been working on something nobody expected. In her spare time, she's created an invention. It's a simple but clever organizational tool designed to help children complete daily tasks. Another has personal problems. The youngest seems determined to create chaos wherever she goes. And suddenly, Nate discovers something shocking. Parenting isn't one job. It's 100 jobs happening at the same time. But instead of admitting he's overwhelmed, Nate does what many people do when they're afraid of looking incompetent. He pretends everything is under control, even when it clearly isn't. And that decision will create far bigger problems than he realizes. Because while Katie is building a business on the other side of the world, back at home, Nate's carefully constructed image of being a capable father is about to fall apart, one mistake at a time. And what happens next, nobody sees coming. Because Nate isn't just struggling to run the household. He's about to start making decisions that will turn a manageable situation into complete and total chaos. And believe me, the arrival of a horse is only the beginning. To find out how Nate's simple parenting experiment turns into one of the biggest disasters of his life, at first, Nate believes he can handle everything. After all, how hard can parenting really be? But within days, his confidence completely disappears. The house becomes a mess. Laundry piles up everywhere. Pizza becomes the family's primary food source. And every problem seems to create 2 new ones. Meanwhile, Katie is thriving. Her Shark Tank deal is moving forward, and her business is growing faster than she ever imagined. Wanting her to focus on her dream, Nate starts hiding the truth. Every time Katie calls, he lies. He tells her everything is under control, but in reality, the family is barely surviving. Things become even more complicated with the daughters. His oldest daughter starts showing interest in boys. His middle daughter is preparing for an important spelling bee, and his youngest daughter develops a strange habit of hugging and kissing classmates. Instead of having a serious conversation with her, Nate comes up with a ridiculous solution. He buys her a horse, a real horse, while living in the suburbs. As expected, this decision creates even more chaos. And if things weren't already bad enough, Nate also has workplace problems waiting for him. His rival coworker is slowly taking his place at the dealership. For the first time, Nate begins feeling like he's losing control of everything. But what happens next changes everything, because the lies he's been telling are about to catch up with him, and the damage is far worse than he realizes. As the days pass, Nate's situation becomes impossible to hide. The horse creates disaster after disaster. Household repairs spiral out of control. And a well-meaning contractor named Keegan only makes things more chaotic. Soon, parts of the house are literally being destroyed. At the same time, Nate continues disappointing the people closest to him. He misses important moments, he makes promises he can't keep, and he keeps choosing shortcuts instead of responsibility. The biggest blow comes when he fails to properly support his middle daughter's spelling bee competition. By now, his daughters are frustrated, his coworkers don't take him seriously, and the perfect image he tried so hard to maintain is collapsing. Then the truth finally comes out. Katie learns that Nate hasn't been honest. The house is a disaster, the family is struggling, and all the problems he claimed to have solved have actually become worse. For the first time, Nate is forced to face reality. This was never about cooking meals or washing clothes. It was about respect. For years, he underestimated everything Katie did. Now he finally understands how difficult her job really was. But can he fix the damage before it's too late? The answer comes in the movie's emotional final act. As the story reaches its conclusion, Nate stops making excuses. Instead of hiding behind lies, he finally accepts responsibility. He apologizes to Katie. He apologizes to his daughters. And most importantly, he admits that he was wrong. For years, he believed earning money made him the most important part of the family. But now he understands something much bigger. A family isn't held together by paychecks alone. It's held together by time, effort, patience, and love. Katie's business continues moving forward, proving that her dreams matter just as much as anyone else's. Meanwhile, Nate becomes a more involved husband and father. Not because he's perfect, but because he's finally paying attention. In the end, The Breadwinner isn't really about Shark Tank, business deals, or even role reversal. It's about learning to appreciate the people whose hard work often goes unnoticed. It's about recognizing that parenting is a full-time job. And it's about understanding that love isn't just something you feel. It's something you actively show every day. And with that lesson learned, the Wilcox family finds a new balance, one built on teamwork instead of assumptions. That's the story of The Breadwinner 2026. If you enjoyed this movie recap, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know in the comments. Do you think Nate deserved a second chance, or should Katie have been much harder on him? Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next movie explanation.